Matter of fact, I could even show it to you guys later how it would make a difference. Okay.
Hey, why don't you start out by introducing?
Yeah,
back up a little bit.
Thank you. All right, so I'm Arthur Johnson, and you guys are you guys. So nice to meet you guys. All right, I'm sorry. What's your name?
Valerie.
Valerie, and your name?
Justin.
Justin. Valerie? Oh, your hands. That's okay. Keep it in there. So it's just in time to meet Justin. Thank you, Justin. Okay, we got Claire, Dr. Claire, and Mariah. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? You know, we used to play poker, and
Oh, you're talking about Black Mariah.
Black Mariah.
That's the name of the game.
No. It's true. There was a game we called Red Janelle and another game we called Black Mariah, right? And Black Mariah was the black queen in the hole was
Why? That's right. So it was either the club or the spade, and it was fine.
Right, and Red Janelle was the red queens in the hole.
The diamond or the
diamond
heart.
or the heart.
Okay.
And wow, that's so cool. Let me shake your hand. All right, great. It's easy to remember your name. I'll just think of poker. Well, here, let me just poke you. Get it? Poker?
It's not even
All right,
funny.
bad joke. Okay. All right. No, I like to start with humor because if we have a little humor, it's easy to remember things, okay? We're going to have fun, all right? And this is a mandatory participatory demo, all right? So we're going to start with a few questions about what. Can I step here?
Yeah.
Is this okay?
Yeah, a little bit better.
I can't push
Oh,
this.
okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine.
You want me to stand back here?
Yes, that's perfect.
Lean like
Oh,
this?
great. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? It's
Yeah.
kind of uncomfortable.
Anyway, just
Okay,
continue.
all right. So, I'm sorry. All right. It was a long drive. I got a little batty after a long drive.
We know.
Put mine in the same room, forget it.
Right. Okay. So, let's talk about water. I'm going to ask you some questions. There's no right or wrong answers. Well, there are right answers. Okay. Wrong answers, you just leave. That's all. Okay. So, look.
Back up a little bit.
Even more.
Yeah, perfect. There you go.
Okay. Why don't you back the camera up?
Huh?
Why don't you back the camera up?
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
You know, because I'm going to have to move closer anyway. Right? So just don't take the tablecloth with you. Just back the camera up.
Okay, now you can move forward.
Now you have a plant covering the.
The lens.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
Okay.
It gives atmosphere.
All right. Thanks. All right.
You will have a big group in the afternoon
Yeah, this will really be fun.
because it's
Okay.
after work.
All right. Anyway, moving on. The world and water. All right. What percent of the world's made of water?
70%.
How much? 70%? Okay, that's right. 70%. Now, did you say 7 or 70?
70.
Okay. All right. Now, of the 70%, how much of that water is fresh water?
Not very much.
Okay. Of the 70% of the water on the face of the earth, how much of that is, drinkable or fresh water?
Less than, sorry.
30?
No. What?
30?
No.
Oh, no.
Less than
Not
that.
even close.
Not even close.
All right.
I would say less than 3%.
Less than what?
3%.
Less than 3%. You have
I
any?
said
6?
6%.
I'd say less than 1%.
Less than 1%. You said
3.
3. Okay. Actually, it's 2.
Ooh.
Okay, it's less than 2%. Now, the majority of the 2% of the drinkable water, what does it look like? Is it in a state of gas, solid, or liquid? Anyone?
Solid.
You think solid?
Gas.
Liquid.
Solid?
Gas.
Gas? Liquid? Okay, it's solid. It's in the form of ice. Okay, so the majority of it makes sense, the majority of the clean water is actually going to be in the form of ice. Okay, if you melt it, then you can drink it, right? There's not enough, so think about this, all right, and this has always been mind-boggling to me. And if you know that less than 1% of the water on the earth is drinkable, it now makes sense why they bottle it, we have to recycle it. All right, because it's a limited amount. It really is a finite amount. But think of this. You ever think about how much gas we burn and oil we burn on a daily basis on the world? Okay, and it seems to be a limitless supply, doesn't it? I mean, literally, we are burning off thousands and millions of, gallons of gas every day. Every day, and we still have enough gas to last us for a couple hundred years. But water, we don't. With water, we have to recycle it. It's got to constantly be recycled. It's got to go through filtration process, and then it goes through RO process, and it gets bottled. Okay, that's where a lot of people get their water source today, is to drink bottled water. Now, why is water necessary? I mean, is it necessary? When I was growing up, Mom and Dad, we lived in Panama, and Mom and Dad would buy us cases of soda pops. Literally. There'd be wooden crates full of Pepsi, Orange Crush, Sprite, 7-Up, whatever, right? And we'd have 3 cases, and they'd change it every 2 weeks. Imagine the volume of soda that we drank as kids. Ooh. That's probably why we're so short. Okay? All right. But not only that, I thought that was a great form of hydration. I remember going to picnics. Okay, the military would sponsor picnics once or twice a year, and they'd have these big old barrels full of soda pops, and we would see how many we could drink in a picnic. And I drank 7 or 8 bottles of soda in one day. Okay, and I was hydrated.
And don't forget the iced tea that we drank with dinner all the time.
Right, and iced tea that we drank with dinner. All right. Then as I got older, I'm thinking, now this is where my wife thinks I'm stupid. Okay, well, thought I was stupid. She goes, Arthur, you need to drink more water. I said, I drink a lot of tea. I drink a lot of juice. She goes, that's not water. I said, come on, tea. Okay, tea, think about it. You take tea, you put it in water, it's still 99% water, right? I'm sorry, if it was, they'd call it teeter. Okay, and not tea. Because as soon as you put anything in water, it's no longer water. It is what that thing is. Tea is tea, coffee is coffee, juice is juice. You're not hydrating yourself. Man, I used to think my best form of hydration was Mr. Clear Soda. It looked like water. It seemed like water, it kind of moved like water, and it tasted a whole lot better than water. So I must be getting hydrated. Oops, I was so wrong. I'm not getting hydrated. So I got an education, and I learned and found out that, hey, if you're going to get hydrated, you drink water. But is any water okay? Is this water okay? Unfortunately not. See, this water has gone through reverse osmosis. Now, it will show up slightly alkaline, and the reason why is because they put man-made chemicals in here. Here they put in sodium bicarbonate and magnesium sulfate, and that's to help alkalize the water. Okay, before when I used to test Nestle, it was acidic. Matter of fact, most bottled water will come up acidic. Dasani is acidic, Aquafina is acidic, and it makes sense, okay, because Dasani and Aquafina are made by Coke and Pepsi, and their drinks are acidic, and so it would help if they had acidic water to make their acidic drinks. All right, now I remember the first time, it was several years ago, I was in a group of 50 people in downtown LA that was just nothing but Chinese people, and it was for a Chinese group, and I was doing a demo with Dasani, and I was testing for chlorine. I said, one great thing about bottled water is there's no chlorine in it. So I'm shaking it, and I'll do a chlorine test in a second, and I'm shaking it, and they're all laughing. Why is everyone laughing at me? Because I'm shaking this water, proving to them there's no chlorine, and I look to my right, and this thing's turned bright yellow, which means there's chlorine in the water. And I'm like, all right, someone played a bad joke. So I grabbed another bottle of Dasani, popped it open in front of everyone, poured it in, put in my chlorine tester, and that turned yellow. And I thought, oh my gosh, someone left the tap on. I said, oh no, what's worse yet? Coke has been selling the public tap water and making millions off of tap water. And they didn't get caught till 2 years later. I should have blown the whistle then. But to me, it was like, wow, this is ridiculous. I didn't think anything about blowing the whistle. But 2 years later, they got caught because they were selling tap water to the public. And people were paying for water that they could have just gotten right out of their sink. Is that crazy or what? Okay, but it was worse because their water was not only tap, but they put tap water and they ran it through an RO system, okay, which made it acidic, but they kept the chlorine in it. All right, so it wasn't a pure RO system. They just took
What's a reverse osmosis?
reverse osmosis. It's a purification process in which they remove everything from the water. So the Japanese call it dead water because they remove all the minerals, everything from the water. Okay, and distilled water is even worse than RO water because distilled water is ultra acidic. Okay, because distilled water not only takes everything out,
It's dead.
but when you expose distilled water to air, it absorbs carbon. It doesn't absorb oxygen, it absorbs carbon, and therefore makes it more acidic. Okay, and it's deadlier. It's not just dead, it's deadlier for your health. I mean, distilled water is made for machines. It's made for irons and engines. It's not made for, getting this engine going. But a lot of people, doctors say, oh, you need to drink distilled water.
And they give it as
To babies.
Oh, and that's so wrong. That is so bad. And drinking bottled water is even bad for your health because a lot of the older folks, especially women, they're drinking bottled water regimen, end up with a lot of osteoporosis, and brittle bone disease. And the reason why is because they have no calcium. And you want to drink water with minerals because the calcium is actually the buffer that keeps us from being really acidic. Because our lifestyle, the way what we eat, what we drink, and everything pretty much makes us acidic. It's the calcium in our body which acts as the buffer. Now, if you don't have calcium in your diet, most people get calcium from drinking the water, right? So if you don't get calcium, then what happens? It's the body starts leaching the calcium from itself, and therefore you get brittle bone problems. Well, we had a 71-year-old who was on our water for 3 months. I mean, if she would have hit the table like this, she would have broken her hand. That's how brittle she was. After 3 months, she was tested for her bone density, and she had the bone density of a 30-year-old after 3 months of drinking our water. Okay, because our water was replenishing the calcium in her body. So our water is not just good because it replenishes that, but because it actually hydrates the body. How does it hydrate? And I'll show to you by some testing here. Your cells have what are called aquaporins. Do you know about aquaporins? Do you know about aquaporins or learned about them?
Are they like receptors on the cell membrane?
Right, okay, and it's the aquaporins, aqua meaning water, porins meaning hole, okay? You're a doctor, right? You know about aquaporins?
Yeah, it's within the cell wall. It's not inside.
It's in the cell wall, right?
They are like open pores.
Right.
on the wall.
It's like on the skin, the open pores.
Yeah.
And they
It
allow
can
the
easily,
water
but
to
it
be
has to
absorbed.
have in a certain. It's not all water can come in because there are big water and small.
Well, actually, that's incorrect. The aquaporins are lined with positive ions,
Yeah.
okay? And it's only one water molecule at a
At
time.
the time, yeah.
Okay,
That's
Okay,
what
one
I was
water,
trying to say.
and that water molecule has to have a negative valence. It's got to be a little more negative because it won't be able to go in. So once the water goes through our ionization process, because through the ionizer, it actually creates restructured water. Okay, it ends up breaking up a lot of the water molecules. It creates OH negative hydroxyls, active hydrogen, which acts as the antioxidant, but it weakens the state of the water molecules, the bonding of the H2O. It's still water, but it's a loosened bonding, and because of that, the oxygen is more negative in charge because of the ionization, and that goes through the aquaporins with the oxygen atom first. And it happens very quickly,